The email notification lit up my phone at 1:47 p.m. on a Thursday. Subject line: Williams and Associates. Partnership announcement. My finger hovered over it for 3 full seconds before I opened it. And hey, let me know in the comments where you're watching from and what brought you to this story today. I'd been waiting for this email for 6 years. 6 years of 80-hour weeks, of missed birthdays and canceled plans, of takeout dinners at my desk, and sleeping on the office couch during trial prep. 6 years of proving myself in a career my parents said I'd never succeed in. But here's the thing about that email. The thing that made my hands shake as I read it. It wasn't just about me. My younger sister Melissa got the same email. Same firm. Same announcement. We were both being considered for junior partner at Williams and Associates, one of Chicago's most prestigious law firms. The catch? There was only one partnership position available, and my parents had already decided who deserved their support. I need to back up. Let me tell you how we got here. My name is Katherine Hayes. I'm 32 years old, and I've spent the last decade trying to prove to my parents that I was worth believing in. Melissa is 29, and she's never had to prove anything to anyone. At least, not to them. We both went to law school. Northwestern for me, on a combination of student loans and scholarships I fought for. Harvard for Melissa, with Dad writing checks for the full tuition, room, and board. When I asked why they couldn't help with even part of my tuition, Dad looked at me over his reading glasses and said something I'll never forget. Katherine, Melissa has the right personality for law. She's charismatic, she's persuasive, she knows how to work a room. You're too soft, too emotional. Law will eat you alive, and I'm not throwing good money after bad. I was 22 years old. I'd just gotten accepted to one of the best law schools in the country, and my own father told me I was a bad investment. Mom didn't argue with him. She just squeezed my shoulder and said, "Maybe you could do something else, honey. Teaching, maybe? You've always been so good with kids." I went to law school anyway. Took out $180,000 in loans. Worked as a paralegal during the day and studied at night for the first year until I couldn't keep up anymore. Then I took out more loans and lived on instant ramen and pride. Melissa graduated with honors and zero debt. I graduated with high honors and crushing anxiety about money. We both joined Williams and Associates the same year. Me in the Chicago office, her in the same building, different floor, corporate law for her, criminal defense for me. The firm loved her immediately. She had the pedigree, the confidence, the easy charm that made clients feel like they were her only priority. She made partner track in 3 years. I made partner track in 4, but I had to claw for every inch of recognition. I was the quiet one. The workhorse. Good with details but not really a rainmaker. I didn't have time to be a rainmaker. I was too busy actually winning cases. Too busy being good at my job instead of good at office politics. Too busy paying off debt that she never had to think about. And through it all, my parents went to every one of Melissa's firm events. Every cocktail party, every awards dinner. Mom would post pictures on Facebook. So proud of our Melissa. Another successful case closed. With about 15 heart emojis. When I won my first major case, a criminal defense that got a wrongfully accused man acquitted after he'd spent 2 years awaiting trial, I called home excited. Finally. Something they couldn't ignore. "That's nice, honey," Mom said. "Oh, did you hear Melissa settled a case for $4 million? She's been in the Chicago Tribune. We're going to dinner tomorrow night to celebrate. You should come." I made an excuse. I always made excuses. The night that email came, I sat on my apartment floor, my back against the kitchen cabinets, and I stared at those words. Junior partner candidate, Katherine Hayes and Melissa Hayes. My phone rang. "Melissa. Can you believe this?" Her voice was bright, excited. "Kate, we're both up for partner. This is insane." "Yeah," I managed. "Insane." I already called Mom and Dad. They're over the moon. Dad wants to take us both to dinner this weekend. "Are you free Saturday?" Something cold settled in my chest. Saturday. Amazing. "Oh, and Kate? May the best woman win, right?" She laughed. Like it was all a game. Like we were just playing. "Right," I said. Best woman. Saturday dinner was at Morton's Steakhouse. The kind of place where Dad liked to celebrate wins. The kind of place I usually couldn't afford unless someone else was paying. We'd barely ordered drinks when Dad launched into it. "So, This partnership, obviously, this is a big moment for both of you. He cut into his bread with the same precision he used for everything. I've been thinking about how we can support you through this. I should have known then. Should have recognized the warning signs. Melissa, your mother and I want to hire Marcus Webb to be your consultant. You remember Marcus, my old law school roommate? He's helped position 3 attorneys for partnership at major firms. He'll coach you on your pitch, help you strategize, make the right connections. Melissa's eyes lit up. Dad, that's incredible. Thank you. How much does he charge? Don't worry about that. This is an investment in your future. Then Dad turned to me. His expression shifted. Not hostile. Exactly. Practical. Calculating. Katherine, you've done well for yourself. Really. We're impressed with how you've managed despite. He gestured vaguely. Everything. The loans, the struggle. It's built character. Despite, that word hung in the air like smoke. I think this partnership decision will come down to who wants it more. Who's willing to work harder? You've always been good at working hard, Kate. That'll serve you well. Mom smiled at me. That sympathetic smile I'd learned to hate. And really, honey, would partnership even be good for you? You're already stressed. You barely sleep. Maybe if Melissa gets it, you could take a step back. Focus on your health. Maybe even start thinking about a family? I was 32 and single. Melissa was 29 with a boyfriend she'd been with for 6 months, who Dad already called future son-in-law. I set down my fork. So you're hiring a consultant for Melissa but not for me. Melissa has a better shot, Dad said simply. She's more polished. Better with people. The firm partners already love her. Marcus will help her close the deal. And me? You'll do what you've always done. Work hard. Hope for the best. I excused myself to the bathroom and stood in front of the mirror, gripping the sink. My reflection looked tired. Dark circles under my eyes. Wrinkles I didn't remember having last year. My blazer was nice but not expensive. My jewelry was simple. I looked like exactly what I was. Someone who'd had to earn everything the hard way. When I came back to the table, they were all laughing about something. Some inside joke. I sat down and finished my meal in silence while they planned Melissa's strategy. The next 3 months were hell. Marcus Webb was everywhere. He was at the office, having lunch with Melissa and senior partners. He was coaching her pitch, her presentation style, her talking points. She had answers for everything. Smooth, confident answers that made her sound like she'd been born for this. I had my case record. I had my billable hours. I had testimonials from clients who sent me thank you cards and baked goods. I had the respect of my colleagues, even if I didn't have the flash. But I didn't have Marcus Webb. And I didn't have my parents showing up to network on my behalf. What I had was my student loan statement. 120 no left. I'd been paying it down aggressively, but it was slow. Every bonus, every raise, every spare dollar went to that number. Melissa had never seen a statement like that in her life. I worked 16-hour days. I prepped my partnership presentation until I could recite it in my sleep. I gathered every piece of evidence I could that I deserved this. Win records. Client satisfaction scores. Revenue generated. Hours billed. Pro bono work that brought positive press to the firm. And through it all, I watched Melissa glide through the process like she was ice skating. Effortless. Graceful. Everyone cheering. 2 weeks before the partnership decision, I went to my parents' house for Sunday dinner. Family tradition. I'd been skipping it for months, but Mom had guilted me into coming. We never see you anymore, Katherine. It would mean so much. I walked into a celebration. Balloons. A cake that said future partner with Melissa's name. Dad pouring champagne. What's this? I asked. Mom looked uncomfortable. Well, Melissa's final presentation is tomorrow, and we wanted to do something special. You know how hard she's been working. My final presentation is tomorrow too. Right. Yes, of course. This is for both of you. But the cake had one name, and there was only one gift bag on the table. Melissa opened it. A new briefcase. Expensive leather. Monogrammed. For all your partnership materials, Dad said proudly. Only the best for our future partner. Singular. I lasted 20 minutes before I made an excuse and left. No one tried to stop me. That night, I sat in my car outside my apartment building and cried until I couldn't breathe. 32 years old. 6 years at this firm. A decade of proving myself. And I was still invisible to them. My phone buzzed. A text from Melissa. Sorry about tonight. You know how Dad gets. Good luck tomorrow. Love you, sis. I didn't respond. The next day, I gave my presentation to the senior partners. I laid out every metric, every success, every reason I deserved this. I was prepared. I was thorough. I was good. When I finished, Harrison Williams himself, the founding partner, nodded slowly. Impressive, Katherine. Very impressive. You've built a solid case for yourself. Solid. That word that meant good but not great. Reliable but not remarkable. Your sister presents this afternoon, he continued. We'll make our decision by the end of the week. I knew I'd lost. I could see it in their faces. The admiration for my work ethic. The respect for my abilities. But not the excitement. Not the conviction that I was the future of the firm. I watched Melissa's presentation from the back of the conference room. She was brilliant. Charismatic. Funny. She had them laughing within 2 minutes. She made partnership sound like a story they all wanted to be part of. She was everything Dad said she was. Everything I wasn't. That weekend, I didn't answer my phone. Not when Melissa called. Not when Mom called. Not when Dad called twice and left a voicemail about being realistic about outcomes. I spent Saturday morning running until my legs screamed. Spent Saturday afternoon looking at my bank account, at my loan balance, at job postings in other cities. Sunday morning, my doorbell rang at 8 a.m. I almost didn't answer, but it kept ringing. It was my college roommate, Jennifer. She took one look at me and pushed her way inside. You look terrible. Good morning to you too. When did you last eat something that wasn't delivered? I couldn't remember. She ordered food, made me shower, sat me down on my couch and didn't let me deflect when she asked what happened. I told her everything. The partnership, the presentation, the cake with one name, Dad's consultant, their confidence that Melissa would win, my certainty that I'd lose. Jennifer listened, and then she said something I'll never forget. Kate, you've already won. You just don't see it yet. That doesn't make sense. You built a career from nothing. You paid your own way. You earned every single thing you have. Melissa's good at her job, yeah, but she's never had to fight for anything. She doesn't know what you know. She doesn't have what you have. What do I have? Debt, exhaustion, resilience, independence, the knowledge that you can make it on your own. Jennifer grabbed my hand. And Kate, whether you get this partnership or not, you'll be fine. But I don't think you realize that you're already exactly who you needed to become. The call came Monday morning at 9:15 a.m. Harrison Williams' assistant. Can you come to Mr. Williams' office, please? My heart hammered the entire elevator ride up. This was it. The letdown. The "you did great, but Melissa is a better fit" speech. The confirmation that I'd never be enough for my family or my firm. I walked into Harrison's office. He stood and gestured to a chair. Katherine, I'll cut right to the chase. We've made our decision about the junior partnership. Here it comes. The partners have voted, and we'd like to offer the position to you. I stared at him. What? You're our new junior partner. Congratulations. But Melissa is excellent. She'll make partner someday, I have no doubt. But you? You're ready now. Your case record speaks for itself. Your work ethic is unmatched. And more than that, every attorney who's worked with you respects you. That matters more than charm, Katherine. Respect matters. I couldn't speak. Literally couldn't form words. Harrison smiled. Your clients trust you. Your colleagues trust you. And we trust you. That's what partnership is built on. I don't know what to say. Say yes. Say you'll accept. God. Yes. I accept. He shook my hand. Welcome to the partnership, Katherine. You've earned this. Earned. Not given. Not gifted. Earned. I walked out of his office in a daze. Made it to the bathroom before the tears came. But they weren't sad tears this time. I called Jennifer first. She screamed so loud I had to hold the phone away from my ear. Then I sat at my desk and stared at my phone. I needed to call my parents. Tell them. But for the first time in my life, I didn't want to share this moment with them. I wanted to keep it for myself. This one thing that was mine. That I'd earned without them. That existed completely separate from their opinions, their favoritism, their doubt. My phone rang. Hi, sweetheart. Listen, Melissa wanted me to call. The firm is announcing their decision today, and she's nervous. Can you call her? She could use some sister support. I took a breath. Actually, Mom, I need to tell you something. What is it? Are you okay? I got the partnership. They offered it to me this morning. Silence. Long enough that I checked to see if the call had dropped. I'm here. What? I'm the new junior partner. I start next month. Melissa said her presentation went so well. She said the partners loved her. They did. But they chose me. Another pause. Does Melissa know? I assume the firm will tell her. Katherine, this is wonderful. But have you thought about how this will affect Melissa? She's going to be devastated. You know how sensitive she is. And there it was. Even in my moment of triumph, my first thought was supposed to be about Melissa's feelings. I have to go, Mom. I have a lot of work to do. Wait, honey, we should celebrate. Why don't we all have dinner this week? We can. I'll call you later. I hung up. Melissa called 20 minutes later. I let it go to voicemail. Then she called again. And again. The fourth time, I answered. Her voice was tight, controlled. Congratulations. Thank you. I really thought. Marcus said I had it. Dad was so sure. I'm sorry you didn't get it. Are you, though? Sharp now. Bitter. You must be thrilled. Finally, something you got that I didn't. The unfairness of that statement hit me like cold water. Finally, something I got? As if she hadn't gotten everything. All our lives. As if I hadn't spent years watching her collect gifts and support and belief while I scraped by on willpower and spite. Melissa, I worked hard for this. So did I. You had Marcus Webb. You had Mom and Dad networking for you. You had consultants and coaching and a celebration before you even gave your presentation. I had my case record in 18-hour days. Oh, here we go. Poor Kate. Everything's so hard for you. You know what? Yeah, it has been hard. And I'm not going to apologize for being proud that I did it anyway. She hung up. Dad called that night. I was expecting anger. Instead, his voice was careful, almost gentle. Katherine, we heard the news. That's quite an accomplishment. Thank you. Your mother and I were thinking, this partnership, it's going to mean more responsibility, more visibility. We'd like to help you prepare for that. I could introduce you to some people. Marcus Webb is available if you need. Dad, stop. I'm just saying, there's still a learning curve. You'll need guidance. I needed guidance 6 years ago. I needed help when I was taking out loans. I needed belief when you told me I'd fail. I don't need it now. Katherine, don't be dramatic. I'm not. I'm being honest. You chose Melissa. You always chose Melissa. And that's fine. But don't pretend you want to help me now that it turned out I could succeed without you. That's not fair. Fair? You spent $200,000 on Melissa's education and told me I was a bad investment. You hired a consultant to help her beat me. You had a cake made with her name on it before we even presented. What part of that is fair? He was quiet. We thought she had a better chance. We were trying to be practical. You were trying to pick a winner, and you chose wrong. That's not my problem anymore, Dad. That's yours. I hung up before he could respond. The firm announced my partnership the next day. My inbox flooded with congratulations. Partners I barely knew sent notes. Colleagues stopped by my office. Even Harrison Williams sent a personal email. Proud to have you as part of the leadership team. And my family? Radio silence. Until Friday afternoon. I was packing up for the day when Mom appeared in my office doorway. She looked smaller somehow. Older. Can I come in? I nodded. She sat across from my desk, hands folded in her lap. I owe you an apology. I waited. Your father and I, we made a choice. We thought we were being practical, but we were being cruel. We saw Melissa's charm and Melissa's confidence, and we thought that's what success looked like. We didn't see your strength. We didn't see that you were building something real. Let me finish. Please. Her eyes were wet. When you called and told me about the partnership, my first thought wasn't pride. It was shock. And that's terrible. That's a terrible thing for a mother to feel about her daughter's success. It means I didn't know you. I didn't see you. You saw Melissa. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Katherine. I wanted to say it was okay. Wanted to make her feel better. Like I always did. But Jennifer's words echoed in my head. About resilience. About independence. About knowing I could make it on my own. I appreciate you saying that, Mom. But I need you to understand something. I'm not going to keep fighting for scraps of your approval. I'm not going to keep hoping that someday you'll believe in me the way you believe in Melissa. I'm done with that. We do believe in you now. After I've already proven myself. After it doesn't cost you anything to support me because I don't need your support anymore. That's not belief, Mom. That's acknowledgement after the fact. What do you want from us? Nothing. That's the point. I don't want anything from you. I wanted it for years, but I don't anymore. I built my life without you. I'll keep living it without you. She stood up. You don't mean that. I need space. I need time to figure out what kind of relationship I can have with people who never thought I was good enough. Katherine, please go, Mom. She left. And I sat in my new corner office, in my new position, and I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Peace. That weekend, I went to Jennifer's house for dinner. Her husband grilled steaks. Her kids showed me their school projects. We drank wine on her back porch and didn't talk about my family at all. Are you okay? She asked eventually. Really? I think so. I think for the first time in a long time, I actually am. No regrets? About the partnership? God, no. About my family? I considered. I'm sad. I'm angry, but I'm not guilty anymore. That's new. You've never had anything to be guilty about. My phone buzzed. A text from Melissa. Dad wants to have a family dinner. To celebrate both of us. He says we should talk. I showed Jennifer. She raised an eyebrow. Are you going? I don't know. Part of me wants to. Part of me wants to say no just to prove I can. What does your gut say? I thought about it. About 32 years of trying to earn something I should have been given freely. About the weight of always being second. About the lightness I'd felt this week. Working in a place where people valued me. My gut says I need to protect what I've built. Even if that means protecting it from them. I texted back. I'm not ready yet. Maybe someday. But not now. Melissa responded immediately. You're really going to do this? Shut us out? I'm not shutting you out. I'm choosing me. She didn't respond after that. 3 months into my partnership, I got a call from a legal aid organization. They wanted me to take on a pro bono case. A woman wrongfully accused of embezzlement by her employer. No money for a good attorney. No resources. Just her word against a corporation. I said yes immediately. The case took 4 months. I worked it alongside my regular caseload. Late nights, early mornings, weekends. But something about it felt right. Felt important. This woman reminded me of myself, fighting alone, trying to prove her worth to people who'd already decided she wasn't worth their time. We won. Not just won, we destroyed the opposition's case. Proved systematic fraud by the employer. Got her a settlement and a public apology. She cried when it was over. I didn't think anyone would believe me. I believe you, I said. I see you. The case made the news. Small story, but enough. Junior partner Katherine Hayes wins major pro bono case. They interviewed me. Asked why I took the case. Because everyone deserves someone who believes in them, I said. Even when they don't believe in themselves yet. My mom called after she saw the article. I saw your interview. You were wonderful. Thanks. Katherine, I've been thinking. Your father and I would really like to take you to dinner. To celebrate properly? No, Melissa. No distractions. Just us and you. Why now? Because you deserve it. And because we owe you more than one apology. I thought about saying no. About holding on to my anger, my hurt, my righteousness. But Jennifer's words came back to me again. About being who I needed to become. Dinner. But I need you to hear some things. Anything. We met the following Saturday. Same steakhouse. Different energy. Mom and Dad sat across from me. And for the first time in my memory, they looked uncertain. Dad started. We read your interview. About believing in people. Was that about us? Partly. We failed you, Katherine. We can see that now. Watching you these past few months. Seeing what you've accomplished. How you carry yourself. We didn't see it before, because we weren't looking. That's our fault. It is. Mom reached across the table. I didn't take her hand. Can you forgive us? Eventually, maybe. But not yet. And not until some things change. What things? Dad asked. You need to see me. Actually see me. Not as the less charming daughter. Not as the one who had to work harder. As Katherine. As someone with values separate from Melissa. We do see you. Do you? Or do you see my partnership? Do you see my success now that it's visible enough to impress you? because that's not the same thing. They were both quiet. I spent my whole life trying to earn your approval. And you know what I learned? I can't earn something you're not willing to give, so I stopped trying. And I'm happier. We want to give it now, Mom said. We want to do better. Then do better. With Melissa, too. Stop treating her like she's perfect. Stop enabling her. She's struggling right now with not getting the partnership. Did you know that? They exchanged a look. She won't talk to us about it. Because you taught her that she should always win. That everything should come easy. And now something didn't. And she doesn't know how to handle it. You need to let her learn what I learned. That failure isn't the end. That struggle builds character. That losing doesn't make you worthless. Dad nodded slowly. You're right. About all of it. I know I am. And if you want a relationship with me going forward, it has to be real. No more comparing us. No more favoritism. No more assuming Melissa needs help and I don't. We both need you. We always did. We can do that, Mom said. We will do that. I wanted to believe them. Part of me did. But the bigger part, the part that had learned to protect itself, knew that belief had to be earned. I'll give you a chance to prove it, but it's going to take time. And I'm not going to pretend everything's fine just to make you comfortable. We understand. We ordered dinner. Ate in relative quiet. It wasn't comfortable. It wasn't warm. But it was honest. And maybe that was a start. When I got home that night, I had a text from Melissa. Mom said you guys had dinner. That you told them off. I told them the truth. Well, for what it's worth, I'm glad you did. I didn't realize how much pressure I was under until you weren't there to compare me to anymore. I stared at that text for a long time. Are we okay? She asked. I don't know. I think we need to figure out who we are to each other, without Mom and Dad in the middle. I'd like that. Me too. 6 months after I made partner, I paid off my student loans. All of them. The final payment felt like cutting an anchor loose. I called Jennifer to celebrate. You did it, she said. You really did it. I did. How does it feel? I thought about it. About the girl who took out those loans, terrified and determined. About the woman who paid them back, exhausted and resilient. About who I'd become in between. It feels like freedom. The firm threw a party for all the new partners. Fancy venue, open bar, speeches about the future of Williams and Associates. Harrison Williams pulled me aside during the cocktail hour. Katherine, I wanted you to know something. When we were making the partnership decision, it wasn't close. You were the unanimous choice. Really? Really. Melissa is good, but you're exceptional. And more than that, you understand what it means to earn something, to fight for it. That makes you dangerous in the best possible way. Dangerous in the best possible way. I liked that. My parents came to the party. I'd invited them, testing the waters. They stayed in the background mostly, watching. At one point, I saw Dad talking to Harrison, looking proud, but it was a different kind of pride than what I'd seen with Melissa. Less performance, more genuine. Maybe they were learning. Maybe I was too. At the end of the night, Mom hugged me goodbye. I'm proud of you, Katherine. So proud. Thank you. Not for the partnership. For who you are. For how strong you've become. For not letting us break you. I wasn't expecting that. You deserved better from us. I hope we can give that to you now. Even if it's late. Late is better than never. She smiled. Squeezed my hand. Left with Dad. I stood outside the venue, waiting for my Uber, and looked up at the Chicago skyline. Lights everywhere. Possibilities everywhere. And for the first time in as long as I could remember, I felt like I was exactly where I was supposed to be. Not because anyone told me I deserved it, not because anyone gave it to me, but because I'd built it, brick by brick, case by case, loan payment by loan payment. I'd done it alone, and that meant I'd never be alone again, because I'd always have myself, and now I knew what I was capable of. My phone buzzed. A text from Jennifer. Proud of you, partner. Drinks next week? Absolutely. Another text. From a number I didn't recognize. Hayes. You don't know me, but I saw your interview about pro bono work. I need help. My daughter was wrongfully terminated and can't afford a lawyer. Can you help us? I smiled. Typed back. Send me the details. Let's talk. Because that's what I did now. I helped people. I believed in people who couldn't believe in themselves yet. I was the person I'd needed when I was 22, and terrified and alone. And you know what? That felt better than any partnership. Better than any family approval. Better than anything I'd been chasing for so long. It felt like purpose. Like home. Like enough. So if you're out there, watching this, and you're in a place where nobody believes in you, where your family chose someone else, where you're carrying weight that nobody sees, I want you to know something. You're not alone. And you're not wrong to want more. To deserve more. You are enough. Just as you are. Right now. And someday, maybe sooner than you think, you'll look back and realize that the struggle wasn't a punishment. It was preparation. For exactly who you needed to become. Keep going. Keep fighting. Keep believing in yourself when nobody else will. Because the best revenge isn't proving them wrong. It's proving yourself right. And you will. I promise you will. That's my story. Thanks for listening. If it resonated with you, drop a comment and let me know. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe if you want more stories like this. And remember, you're enough. You've always been enough. The people who can't see that, that's their loss, not yours. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.